Hello YouTube, I'm Tim and welcome to part 4 of my DVD and Blu-ray update for March 2018. And I only have one new disc to show off this time, a DVD, so I'll be doing an unboxing of the Blu-rays that I showed off in part 3 of my update. So first up, DVD that came out today from Code Red via Kino Lorber, DVD edition of the 1976 drive-in cult movie comedy Revenge of the Cheerleaders. It stars Jerry Woods and Rainbow Smith, who is also known as Cheryl Smith or Cheryl Rainbow Smith, who was in Charles Band's adult musical version of Cinderella, and she was also in Charles Band's Laser Blast. And she was in Roger Corman Women in Prison production Caged Heat. She was in Phantom of the Paradise, and she was in a bunch of different B-grade movies. But this film also has the film debut of actor David Hasselhoff, who would also star in the Italian outer space movie Star Crash, with Caroline Munro, Marjoe Gortner, and Joe Spinell, and Christopher Plummer. And this was previously out on Blu-ray from Code Red, but now doing a DVD that's available everywhere at all major retail outlets via Kino Lorber. But this is what you get on the DVD special feature. Audio commentary with director, writer, producer Richard Lerner and director of photography Nathaniel Dorsky. Yeah, Nathaniel Dorsky. It's in anamorphic widescreen 1.78, runs 87 minutes, English mono audio, region 1 locked, rated R. And it's copyright 1976 Cheerful Film Company, under license from Blairwood Entertainment. So you can see in introducing David Hasselhoff, he would later star on TV's Knight Rider and TV's Baywatch. And this followed a bit of a trilogy of cheerleader movies that were pretty much unrelated to each other. It was always about a different group of cheerleaders, because in 1973 you had a bunch of cheerleaders who were just pretty much a bunch of horny little high school girls just getting it on with just about anybody they could. Well, not just about anybody. But you get the picture with that one. And then there was a Swinging Cheerleaders, which also starred Cheryl Rainbow Smith, but featured, what's her name? It was in a bunch of different movies. Colleen Camp. And then there was this movie, but then there were some that weren't exactly in this series, since I see the Cheerleaders, the Swinging Cheerleaders, and Revenge of the Cheerleaders to be a 70s trilogy. There was also the porno film Debbie Does Dallas, which was a cheerleader movie, and then there was also Satan's Cheerleaders, which was pretty tame, and then there was Chuck Vincent's Cheerleaders Beach Party, which came out in 1978, and even though he was known for doing porno films, that was an R-rated sex comedy. He started to move away from the hardcore porn films to doing R-rated comedies. And then in the early 80s. Yeah, I think it was either late 70s, early 80s. There was a cheerleader movie originally called The Great American Girl Robbery, which later became known as Cheerleaders Wild Weekend, which wasn't exactly a comedy, but was marketed pretty much as a sex comedy. And that one starred the girl from Meatballs and the girl from the adult musical version of Alice in Wonderland. Name is on the tip of my tongue. She has blonde hair. That doesn't even help me. There were so many blonde-haired girls in these drive-in cult movies back in the 70s and 80s. Mainly the 70s. Come on, Jim. Yeah, I would have to check online because I don't think I've got any of her movies on hand. Christine DeBelle. Yeah, that's her name. But she wasn't in any of these other cheerleader movies. She was just in Great American Girl Robbery, which later became known simply as Cheerleaders Wild Weekend. Which either title works because it's more of a bunch of high school cheerleaders getting held hostage for money, for ransom money. But at the same time, that whole hostage situation did turn into a wild weekend for them. Okay, it's not really that funny if you think about it getting held hostage. But in that movie, they did make it funny. Back to Revenge of the Cheerleaders, because this one is definitely a comedy and it lives up to an R rating, but the cheerleading team at Aloha High are popular with their fellow students except for a couple of stuck-up rich girls. Well, that's usually the case with these teen and college sex comedies where there's few stuck-up rich bitches in the school. But they're a major cause of the school's lecherous reputation for underage sex and drug abuse. So, yeah, this one plays up the whole drug use angle a little bit more than sex. Not that there isn't any sex and nudity, it's R-rated. It's tamer than the Cheerleaders, which it seemed the whole point of that 73 one was just nudity and sex. Fun-loving gals spike this lunchroom spaghetti sauce with a concoction of pot, pills, and powders, hold wild orgies in the boys' locker room, and never bother to attend their classes. The school board considers a merger with Aloha's biggest rivals, the vocational school Lincoln High, but the cheerleaders refuse to mix with the low-class juvenile delinquents that go there. A new principal, ex-Marine Hall Walker Norman Thomas Marshall, might whip the school into shape, but it'll mean forcing the cheerleaders out of the squad and back into the classroom, though the girls prove their importance to Aloha's spirit. At the crucial moment of a big basketball team, it turns out that the more sinister forces are at work when the school is blown up and the principal is kidnapped. It's up to the cheerleaders to save the day and unravel a conspiracy to steal Aloha High's land for a shopping mall. Carl Ballantine, David Hasselhoff, and genre vet Rainbow Smith, also known as Cheryl Smith, appear in this energetic sex comedy. And I believe that Cheryl Rainbow Smith was pregnant with her son while she was making this, and they didn't hide her pregnancy, they just wrote it into the storyline. But it was weird, because I think she ended up doing a sex scene with David Hasselhoff while she was still very much pregnant. But I still need to see all of this one. I've seen all the Cheerleaders, and that's one I don't really need to see again or anytime soon. This one seems to have a little bit more of a point to it. There's more story to this one. There seems to be more acted. Not that the first film and the second film didn't have acting in them. It was just more sex and cheesiness in the other two movies. So, Revenge of the Cheerleaders on DVD from Code Red, but distributed everywhere via Kino Lorber. And I checked Screen Archives, and they still they're carrying the Blu-ray of this one, as well as the Blu-rays of the 1973 Cheerleaders and it's either 79 or early 80s Cheerleaders Wild Weekend. They've got the Blu-ray. That was the only new disc I had to show off since last night when I showed off my new Blu-rays, and I said I would do an unboxing, so I'm still waiting on a package from Dark Force Entertainment, which could come any day now. It's not expected to be here till Thursday, but it left part of the state that's just a couple hours from me this afternoon, so I might get that package tomorrow. But I've unshrink wrapped Fangs the Living Dead, and I took a look. There's the disc, and it looks like it's a reversible cover, but it still lists the same bonus feature and same screen captures. But I'm pretty sure there's more extras than what's listed, but artwork reverses, so switch the Fangs title for the Malenka title, because this movie was also known originally as Malenka, the vampire's niece, or the niece of the vampire. This is a vampire flick from Spain. Is that just a scratch? Or I don't know if that's it. I guess it's supposed to be like that, but so on the reverse cover, the alternate title Malenka, and you see artwork of Anita Ekberg with female vampire hovering over female vampire called Blinka. And there's Blinka with Sylvia is Anita Ekberg's uncle, and you see some vampire bats and a little bit of splashes of blood and Malenka title. And it says Malenka. But the back of it is exactly the same as Fangs of the Living Dead side. So it's nice they give you the alternate title on the reverse side. This Shout Factory, Scream Factory title. And And then yesterday I had also showed off the Criterion Collection Blu-ray of Night of the Living Dead, and I unshrink wrapped it and I tore the special edition Blu-ray sticker off. I just stuck it down here, and this computer disc, probably should have just thrown it away because it was just tearing apart, but this comes out of this slipcase, and you see pictures or drawings of the zombies, and then you get some sort of poster. It's two-sided, but it's not really a movie poster exactly. It's just a young actress, Kira, shown as Zombie Girl. That's all it is, and then Mere Anarchy is Loosed, or by Stuart Clawin, so it's just a essay on Night of the Living Dead. And then you just get this movie credits, the actors and production crew on one on the other side, and then special thanks and acknowledgements, production credits, blah 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 blah. So, first thought it was some sort of movie poster, but it's not exactly a movie poster. And then there's the two discs, disc 1 and disc 2. So not really much on the inside of the case. It lists a bunch of extras, so it's better than getting absolutely nothing. It looks like it's not much, but it's... really have to take a look at the disc, watch the discs, see what you get on there. And then, of course, I got the retail version of Mondo Macabro's Blu-ray release of Blood Spattered Bride, and I unshrink wrapped this one, and nothing really special on the inside, just the disc, region ABC. Okay. And then Blue Underground had put out a standard definition widescreen transfer on DVD a while back. This only has the US combo trailer as a sole extra on here, but it's anamorphic widescreen. And I believe, yeah, they're both unrated, but while this standard definition widescreen transfer is 101 minutes, the high def one's listed as being 102 minutes. Yeah. Blu-ray's got more than just a US theatrical trailer. It's got audio commentary and newly created English subtitles and choice between English and Spanish audio. And then some interviews, and then trailers, radio spots, deleted and alternate scenes, and then Mundo Macabro previews. So the Blu-rays got way more, and then there was also that 2-disc DVD edition of another film that was put out on both DVD and Blu-ray from Blue Underground, Daughters of Darkness. I have the DVD. 2-disc also contained same exact DVD of Blood Spattered Bride, where I'm pretty sure it's just has only the US trailer as the sole extra. As you can see on this single DVD disc edition, it's just the exact same DVD that came with Daughters of Darkness. But we are almost done here. I unboxed the Kino distributed Code Red Blu-ray of the Italian war flick The Last Hunter, which is the brutal story of one man's fight for survival behind enemy lines, and that's a pretty kick-ass cover art. And nothing really on the inside, you just get the disc with the same cover art that it didn't really need. I don't think it really needed any alternate artwork. Just get that movie poster like cover art and just some screen caps on the back. So, recap. Yeah, that's the word I couldn't think of last night when I was doing my part 3. So for part 4, March 2018 DVD Blu-ray update recap. The Code Red DVD edition distributed by Kino Lorber, Revenge of the Cheerleaders starring Jerry Woods, Cheryl Rainbow Smith, and introducing David Hasselhoff. Hello? This was the only new DVD I've gotten. But then, of course, yesterday I got 4 new Blu-rays, Mundo Macabro's retail version of the Blu-ray of Blood Spattered Bride, and the Shout Factory Scream Factory Blu-ray of Fangs of the Living Dead, which has the reverse cover art featuring the alternate release title Malenka, the vampire's niece. And then the Criterion 2-disc Blu-ray special edition of Night of the Living Dead, and the Kino distributed Code Red Blu-ray of The Last Hunter. And then I showed off the 2 Blue Underground DVD editions of Blood Spattered Bride, which are both standard definition. The 1 single disc edition, and then the 2-disc edition where it's the second disc of Daughters of Darkness, but it's just the same exact disc as Blood Spattered Bride. There's no extras for Daughters of Darkness on that second disc. So that is it for part 4 of my DVD and Blu-ray update for March 2018. Keep an eye out for part 5, where I'll be getting a package from Dark Force Entertainment. So I'm Tim, and thanks for watching.